February. We've got some new faces here, I see. But how about going around the table and introducing yourself?
Sharon King, Father of the Fun.
Bobby Stewart, Old Central Antique Mall, and Thompson.
Terry Fritz, Peak Performance Timing.
Loretta Fritz, wife of Peak Performance Timing.
And I was on Run Sign Up.
I'm Jennifer Harrison with Healthline.
And Janine with the city. Cindy Lucarelli on council. So, I have a feeling that we're going to change the order a little bit here and start out with what's going on at the end of the table, because I have this feeling it's something kind of new.
Well, it's resolving
Absence.
the absence of the Arthritis Foundation and the Jingle Bell Run.
Yes.
So we timed the Jingle Bell Run in half for several years for the Arthritis Foundation, and Sheila Klein, who put that on last year, she wasn't the director of it, but put us in connection with the people that were doing it, and so we timed it again. And they let us know in December that we didn't need to save that date because they weren't going to do the Jingle Bell Run in Port Orchard the next year. And so I'm on the food bank for South Kitsap Helpline. I'm on the board and have been for many years, and Jennifer's a dear friend. And I said, wouldn't it be awesome if we could take that same slot? We could continue to have this wonderful event in Chimes and Lights and for Port Orchard and have all that money saved in our little community here. So,
Very nice.
right. Mm-hmm. So we made, which, we don't know how many people were in it because of the Arthritis Foundation. We simply know it's a wonderful event. We like timing it. I like the food bank. I think it's a win-win situation here.
See?
And so I submitted an application for Peak Performance Timing to do something called the Jolly Jingle Run. We can't call it the Jingle Bell Run because that's the Arthritis Foundation's trademark name. So the Jolly Jingle Run for Port Orchard on behalf of South Kitsap Helpline. And we definitely want to be a part of Festival of Chimes and Lights. We simply want to fill the gap of that 5K run that's always been there.
Did you bounce the name of it off of the Arthritis Foundation at all? Did you talk to them about having jingle in it at all?
It doesn't matter.
I don't think that would make any difference because it's not titled Jingle Bell. If Jingle Bell is the patented name, then it's not. Charlie's
Haven't contacted the Arthritis Foundation except in our communications in December.
Something we might just want to double check on, just to make sure. Just because it's following so closely, want to just not have anything be misleading.
Right.
But let's hear your ideas. Would you basically want to do the same sort of thing that's been going on?
What I submitted was an updated course that wouldn't require.
We'd be using a trail instead
We'd be using the trail
Okay.
instead of that mixy spot at Bay Street and Bethel.
Yes.
Because that's just that weird intersection. We'd do the walking trail around there.
Cutting in on it right there by the Comfort Inn. So
Sure.
Like we do for the Splat Run.
Yep.
And the police, I think, prefer that. So I submitted 2 routes, actually. The original route, which we knew from last year they didn't really want them to use, and then an updated route to use that walking path, that pedestrian walking path. And then we want to do our own thing. We want it to be unique. I see it as, candy canes, not. I see JJ for Jolly Jingle as 2 upside down candy canes, and we're going to do what we can to harvest the names of the people that were in it before. We don't expect the Arthritis Foundation to give us anything, but
I wouldn't even ask them.
we're just not even going to ask them. That's not something that I would do as a race director because it's private information how to contact those folks. So. So we have to publicize, and so Helplines are going to be our partner with that, making sure that it's represented at chamber and, festivals.
Being great if it's authorized by the committee.
Yeah.
Did you get another application in?
I've heard that there is another one that may be pending.
For this,
Well,
there's someone else that's interested, but they haven't submitted anything.
Yeah, I think it was first come, like the first person to submit the application. So South Kitsap Rotary was interested in doing doing them on that day too. So I don't know if Jay's talked with you yet.
He emailed and I called him.
Yeah, so, yeah, but I think, your application, it's the first application that gets in, so, yeah.
And that's what he said too. I'm going to contact him and see if there's some way where we can have Rotary included. We really want to partner with South Kitsap Helpline and make this an anchor event for the local food bank. But I don't want to burn any bridges. I certainly don't want to offend anybody. The Rotary helps us.
Right, yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
if there's a
Partner,
way to
and help get the word out.
Right.
I just also wanted to mention, she was talking about the course. We had thought about like maybe moving the start off of the street here, but then we know that you guys have the stuff going on down here, so we kind of wanted people to like end up down here where your activities.
That was one of the reasons we did that in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you really picked up on that.
Yeah.
And having people be involved, because a lot happens right here at City Hall, and then all of the businesses. And we've now made an area down by the waterfront also a focal point where Santa is going to be, and there's a lot more focus on it again.
Down there by the park.
Yeah, down by the marina office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's another. We moved a lot of what we had going on, which was further over by the gazebo, back into town a little bit more, brought it together, and
Gave us better parking down there too.
yeah, and I think that for the most part, we felt that that was a good move. There's still some things we have to kind of catch up on, because communication, as you're going to see, takes a while to get to people when there's been a change. But, it's a great idea, and people have been thinking on this. So I haven't seen the application, so it's here at the city, huh? Okay.
I have a copy if you want to look at it, but it's my only copy.
Oh,
And
no,
I can
no.
print myself another one.
No, that's
actually.
okay, but, I can get it from Jean as well.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
here.
But you've mapped everything out, and so where are we at with the process of that?
I believe Brady said that we have the application, now it's getting routed out to the departments for comments.
I see, okay.
She said she was a little behind on a notification.
Oh, it might be the public notification.
Right, somebody was
Yeah.
out last week unexpectedly, and then she's out tomorrow, but she was planning on doing that by the end of the week. So.
Okay. So you've already taken care of a few things that were of concern last year, and that was the route. There were some safety issues with the runners heading into traffic and such. But we had a new police chief, and again, a lot of new things working with you. And you would go all the way to the Annapolis dock,
Yep,
same
course.
idea, and basically the same starting times and everything like that.
Yep, we
We'll
want to
just
fit
have
right
one
in.
start.
Yeah.
One start?
One start.
Would you have the children's run?
Yes, but it will be before, I think, did I say it was before? I can't remember what I put on there. I'm going to have to look.
Oh, on what you put on run sign up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we can do the
limited-
children's run. That was a simple thing. They just
It's a
ran to
1K.
where the end
Yeah.
of Bay Street
Yeah.
was closed and then.
Yeah, so it's going to be very short. I mean, because most of the kids that run it are really small. It's not going to
I
be.
don't think I put that
It's like
in.
11K.
Right, and then you were
I don't
going,
think it's
I don't
gonna be
think it's
1K.
really 1K.
Half of our cake.
Yeah, half of it.
The kids K.
Kids K.
The
Right.
don't ask, don't tell K.
around the block.
Go get tired and then come back.
So what we had last time is everything started at 11, and
That-
then the
the-
registration 11 to
So-
12:30.
Yeah, so the race, that's the same way. As long as the street's closed by 11, I mean, we will, the race will start at 1:30. So, I mean, all.
But that's what she just asked us down there. The street doesn't need to be closed at 11. We just need
Yes,
to.
this.
We have it closed anyway.
The street
Yeah.
doesn't
Okay.
need to close at
We
11.
we
okay.
close it earlier. We have set up to do and
Right.
yeah.
We
So
have set up to do.
at least this section.
Right,
Yeah.
right, that's all we need.
Yeah. Are you going to have the costume contest part of it too? You're going to keep that?
We haven't really talked about
Yeah, I've been afraid to get really excited about it until
Uh-huh.
it's approved.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any barrier to it being approved, but
Uh-huh.
anytime we talk about it with anybody, there's like an asterisk there that says, I don't actually have it yet. So,
So,
but we would want to mirror, we would want to
As much
keep
as
whatever
possible.
traditions there
Yeah,
are
yeah.
with this. We don't want to.
For sure.
mess anything
We
up.
do a costume contest for our Feeding Families 5K, which is in October.
So for signing up for this run, it would be on the helpline website,
No.
or you would
There's a
create
run,
your own?
yeah, we've already got a run sign up page created,
Yep.
so they can have teams, they can, make a donation, they can do all of that. So it's different than the Arthritis Foundation because they have their own
Right.
database.
National sponsors too,
Right.
so it'll be a little
Yeah.
bit different in regards
So
to
you'd be
that.
looking for sponsorship and that kind of thing?
Yes.
And everything, all the
Everything that
proceeds
saves
go
money
to
on the
Well,
race,
Helpline,
everything
pretty
goes
much?
to
We're kind of working that out still because
I see.
the way it is right now,
Uh-huh.
we're actually the event owners, the event managers,
Okay.
and they're going to be the charity partner. So
Recipient of it.
all donations and all fundraising proceeds go directly to them.
Okay.
We've looked at
But-
doing it, structuring it, we're talking to our auditor
Yeah,
right now
you're
just to make
trying
sure
to
that
figure out how to
everything
do
is above
The legalities
what
and
it needs to
whatever?
be. Yeah, exactly.
They will certainly get the lion's share
Yeah.
of the money.
But basically, we're just going to be managing the event, so we're going to take in the registration fees for the race and, take care of all the other fees that are associated with putting the race on
So
out of that.
so you'll have to set up your own structure? 501c,
No.
nothing?
No.
No.
We have
Okay.
we have an
It's
LLC.
basically
Because you'll be doing that all in
a
name.
for-profit with a charity component.
Yeah.
they're-
So the way it works on Run Sign Up, the way that they do this all over the country,
Uh-huh.
and so where someone puts on the race and they're designated as a charity partner, and you do that right on the website, and they put in all their 5013C stuff and all their account information, and it just goes right to them. So it's totally separate from the actual, event
Race
race registration itself.
And the Arthritis Foundation counted, if I'm reading what's there correctly, they counted an entry in the race as a charitable donation. So all the math of how much they generated going to a good cause was how they
Yeah.
said it, included the $35 for entering the race.
But-
It wasn't just donations on top of that entry.
Yeah.
So, and that's a little misleading, I think, to the
People.
runners
Yeah,
because
because-
they think they've raised, $40,000 and really $20,000 didn't go to the Arthritis Foundation and went to putting on the race.
Well, then it's the Arthritis Foundation.
How will you handle that?
Well, the same. I mean, we would,
Because you'll have expenses.
absolutely.
Well, and that's what I was
Yeah.
saying, so all the registration fees themselves will come to us, and we'll take care of the expenses associated with the race, t-shirts,
Right.
police, blah,
Sunny
blah.
cans, always my
That comes out of
favorite
what we get, so that's,
Right. They wanted to make sure that those costs were covered without us
yeah,
not coming away with something.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
yeah.
So we've kind of talked about structuring it where, Helpline was overarching and we hire them but we think it'll work better this way. And there's another, Thurston County, who we were
Well,
talking
yeah,
about the other day that does something similar, so we're
And-
kind of gonna look at how they did that.
And
So-
most races that have money for a charity, basically what they do, is they would just take the race like we would take the race on, and all the donations and everything would come directly to us, and then whatever our fees were,
Right.
we'd take it out of that, and then at the end we make a donation.
Right.
I see.
But the way we look at it, this is better for us because we plan on giving all the money to Helpline anyway. So the problem is, if we take all that money in, we have to pay income tax on all that. We have to report it for income because we're not a nonprofit, okay?
Yes.
And so then we have to estimate how much tax we're gonna have to pay on that money, so that takes out of what they get. And, it's better if we do it so that they're the charity partner, so all the donations and the fundraising goes directly to them, and the other part is just us. And it's a little risk on our part because, we don't know how many people we're gonna get, so
Right.
we need to get enough people at least to, cover our cost.
And then when
It has a good following, and I think
Yeah, started
that
coaching.
knowing that it's going to
Potential
Helpline
coaching.
at this time of year, I
Well,
think
part of the grant.
And the other thing is, if we took all the stuff in like that, you can't tell people that that's, a 100%
charity.
charity, because it's not, because it's coming to us. But if it goes
We
to
say a portion of the
Right.
proceeds
Right.
will go.
right,
Yeah.
but this
That's how we
way,
do it.
we can say 100%
Of your donation.
donations and fundraising go to the
Yeah.
helpline, and it's taxed at
Yeah.
100%
If they
tax
start a
deductible.
team and they raise $1,000 for
Yeah.
Helpline, that $1,000 goes to
Yeah.
Helpline.
Yeah.
If they do it on Run Sign Up. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if there's 5 people on the team and those 5 people pay $35 to be in the race, that 5 times $35 will come to Peak Performance Timing to put on the
Cover the
race.
cost of the t-shirt.
So in addition to the $1,000 that the teams raised, a portion of that $35 will go
Will
to
go,
Helpline as well. I'm not going to say that Peak Performance Timing is not looking to make money at this race. We try to be very generous with Helpline. We have a race where we don't charge them anything for timing, and we want to grow that race. This race we see as an opportunity for us to have income as a company and for Helpline to profit as well.
So on that note, that makes a real difference for how we can actually include you. Because there's something called gifting of public funds, which we cannot do. We're not allowed to do by law, and which we would have to check with our attorney, et cetera, on how much actual support we could give you. Because in the past, I mean, just advertising you in this brochure may not be something that we can do.
Oh, because the Arthritis Foundation billed there as all being charity?
Because, yeah,
Well,
it
they're-
really
So
wasn't.
it's
It's the second
Their umbrella
structure.
organization is,
It's a nonprofit.
is not
Right,
profit.
right, and so I'm just explaining
Right,
to
I
you,
understand.
which is why I'm trying to sort it all out, and it's involved, you know,
Right.
we know it's involved, because we're all involved in these kinds of deals, and so I'll just need to keep hearing more about all of that, and we'll do our homework.
And what
Find out.
what we can do for us
Uh-huh,
is it can be our fee for running the race as timers. They pay, the Arthritis Foundation paid that as well. And we can give a precise amount on that. I mean, we can give a per head something.
So
We certainly want to continue to be a part of
And the
Chimes.
other thing is, I'm getting into brochures and everything, I mean, isn't there some way that we could make a donation to your event and have us featured in your advertising?
well, we
See, I
just
think
have to find
could be a
out.
sponsor.
I think it's an attorney thing, you need to
Yeah,
find
I actually
out.
can't answer that myself, I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
mainly all of our Chimes of Life is free,
Right,
and that's the whole thing.
Right.
So it can't be something that.
for profit.
Yeah, for profit. But I'm sure attorney will
Well,
be able to figure that out.
So if it were under Helpline and we were contracting with them for services, would that change the way it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you are a 50.
it actually does make a
See,
difference.
that's what the arthritis.
And, you know,
Foundation
fathoms and different ones, I mean, that's the defining line right there.
does. Yeah.
But again, we have to do our homework because this is a change and find out what the attorneys think. And, I just want to be careful ahead of time. Certainly you could be on the schedule.
Well, and the other thing to know about this is it's going to be set up so that people don't have to even enter the race to make a donation or become fundraisers for the event.
Right.
So, I mean,
And that was the same with the Arthritis Foundation. So that's real similar.
so I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know if that makes any difference in how you look at it or how you promote it. I mean, you could promote, the fundraising event because that's exactly what it is, and the race is just kind of.
But I think the issue is that they would be advertising a race that we feel like we would be profiting from, and they can't contribute.
I honestly think the chances of us profiting from it.
Oh, I totally get that. I get all that.
Right.
I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
this is a whole nother monkey,
Right.
when we're dealing with government and
Right.
rules we have to follow.
So
We just want to get it right from the beginning.
When you make that query to the attorney, if you could ask if it's just our fee, if we make it our fee, not a
So the other way we can work it.
balance, I guess.
I mean, it's a game. I mean, it's a game You gotta know how to play the game. But if we put this, we could make them the event owner, you know, and then we could just, what are you doing?
Go ahead and talk.
You could make them the owner and she could pay your fee just like
Yeah.
that.
Like if we were to do an auction, we.
But instead of doing like your race though, what we would do is we would set up like a per person fee, and so we would get paid, you know, the fee per person,
Right.
you know.
Well,
I
think what we do
internal
is,
thing that we
Yeah,
have to
right.
determine.
we will find out, and we will share the information,
Okay.
and then we can build from that.
Okay, so in regards to the advertising and everything, Cindy, if it's under peak performance, we would be having to pay for all the advertising and all the literature. Okay. so
Yes,
that-
I think that's accurate.
Yeah,
But are there even paid ads? I mean, so are there paid ads in the?
well, like the brochure.
And the brochure.
I mean,
whatever.
we did quite a bit with the Jingle Bell Run, so this
Yeah.
portion is, and we did exchanges, so, you know, the tent across the street, we went in on that with the Arthritis Foundation, because the tent could not be taken down, and so we made use of it, so we had an agreement on how much we would pay for that. Because you guys had a big covering, well, you guys, I'm saying loosely.
Right, at the race, they
Right.
had that giant.
Yeah,
Yes, and then we paid for part of that, or we had some exchanges like that went on, just because that couldn't be taken down, and that was something that we also like to have for the people coming. It almost always rains, and you know that.
Right, it's December.
But, and we can think of some of the other things like that, but, you know, I mean, the Jingle Bell Run, we have had in the midst as part of the Festival of Chimes and Lights. And that's what this run would be.
Right.
Because it is the actual Festival of Chimes and Lights
Right.
going on that day.
Right. It's a
There's lot
component
people
of
in
it.
the town that might not otherwise, you know,
Right.
be there for the event.
Right, so,
We
you know,
say,
this is
this is it,
new.
so-
But it's not that you
Yeah.
can't. It's not that you can't advertise. It's just that you can't like
It's the
pay
gifting
for
of
it. Yeah.
public funds.
So yeah.
Costs,
So I mean,
yeah.
it's still possible to have it advertised if we were to like pay for it or.
Somehow reimbursed.
Well,
for
and
it.
that's what we're gonna have to find out
Okay.
exactly. Certainly Helpline, everyone around here, most of our, I can't think of an organization that doesn't
Doesn't support
give
it.
to Helpline and be a part of that. All of our Rotaries, every organization's rocking us. So, that, Helpline falls under that.
Mhm.
So again, we'll just have to do our homework and find out what we need to do to structure this. And we'll have that information. It won't
Okay.
take long to find that out.
Okay, we've got another meeting in March, right?
Yes, and
Sixteenth.
we have this meeting every month, and what we can do is, we'll kind of fast track on it. We can get the information out to you
Okay.
sooner than our next meeting, I would think. And, you know, I think it made sense to a lot of people to have another run again.
Right, well, and we want to fit into that. We don't want to rock the boat as far as messing up the Festival of Chimes and Lights.
Well,
We want to be a part of it, so
Right.
whatever we need to do to make that happen.
Okay, well, this sounds, I mean,
We're
Helpline always needs so much help at that time of the year,
a
and
very worthy organization,
Yeah,
for sure.
we all know how many meals and everything go out the door, and the need increases every year. So that's something we can all get behind, I'm sure.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
Keep the money here and.
Yeah.
Amen,
in
sister.
town.
I've been saying it for years. I'm like, where does this money go?
It's a great organization.
Yeah,
but, you
and-
know, it will be nice to have.
yeah. So, and I think too, with all your contacts, Jennifer, it won't be hard to get the
I
word
don't
out.
think so. I think it'll work really well if it works out.
You guys, that's a lot of work you're putting in here.
Thanks, sweetheart. They put on a good show, though. They do a great job, so we're pretty lucky.
Okay, is there anything else that you need from us to know? I mean, the application is in, so that process is all taking place, and that's outside of our.
So in the schedule, I don't know, are we talking about the schedule in your festival list of events?
Yes.
they had timed runners and non-timed runners, and that's just a nightmare for the timers. So we're not gonna do that.
So you'd only do the timing?
Everybody would
be
have it
timed.
Everybody, and whether they walk or not,
And-
you know, it doesn't matter to us what their finish time is. It's not about that. It's about knowing who started and making sure we got
That
all
was-
of them back.
That was really confusing for people too, because they didn't get that, and we had people show up on the day and they were like, I don't have
I want my time.
I want to be in time. And they, well, you have to sign up for that. And then it's like, so then you have people that would run through the finish anyway, and it's not that big a deal with the chip timing, except if the bibs are all the same, and you want to make sure you get everybody, and so you're always wondering,
And so that person
did I
came
miss
through
that
and we
person?
can see electronically, we didn't pick them up and we're chasing them down.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I just wanted to run through the
Yeah.
finished chute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So everyone would be timed, and everyone would start at the same time?
Everyone would start at the
How
same
how do you do that? Because you can't really get one lineup. You've got people behind.
It's
So it's
called a
called a
chip
chip start.
I see. It's
And
when they cross.
When they cross that
That's how that
threshold.
works.
That's
Right,
Okay.
and so if they're 2 seconds later, the
If they
computer.
start 10 minutes later, it takes
It doesn't
10 minutes
even
off.
matter.
Yeah.
I see. That makes
That's
a lot
how
of
the
sense.
big folks do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Not
that,
everybody can be this far
Right.
apart on a line.
Yeah.
even the stroller, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes, perfect sense. Okay, so you're basically following the very same format.
We want to.
And
We
you'd
do
be-
the kids run beforehand, I don't know what
I
time
don't
that
remember,
started.
did we say beforehand? I can't remember.
But see, we're never involved in the kids run because we don't time that.
Yeah, that's at 1,
Yeah.
the 1K,
Yeah.
the 1 sort of K.
Right, right.
Yeah.
One sort of
The
kid.
don't ask.
That would start at 1, and actually the costume contest was at 12:30, and registration was 11 to 12:30.
It'll probably be earlier, yes, yeah.
11 is as
Yeah.
early as we can do it, because that's what's on the, which is fine. And I do want day of registration, because there's always people that are going to show up that day.
That's a lot of people that do.
Yeah, I don't want to lose that revenue.
What you could do is, if you're thinking of changing that in the future, is advertise that early, because a lot of people show up
Show up to
expecting
sign up.
And so that's what we would do, and we're gonna have to dispute this because,
Uh-huh.
because, I mean, if you advertise it ahead of time and just say no, day of race registration, you can still make a donation, but you can't register for the race. I mean, it makes, there's already enough.
But I think there's
Stress.
people that come if the weather looks decent.
Yeah,
They
well,
don't want
they
to
can-
come if it doesn't.
That's like the car show.
They can
Yeah.
They can still sign up at the packet pickup the day before, that's awesome, but
So you'll be working on a logo, and you'll be using your own website, and
well, it's not ours.
Yeah, but yes, the
Yeah.
one we use,
Yeah.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and yes.
And it'll be on our website too, I mean,
okay,
Like
well,
I said, 2 upside down candy canes.
I've been working. Yeah, I
Art
think cheating as close to what has been traditionally done as possible is really important. People like tradition. So I think consistency, trying to replicate.
and I think that just for the sake of doing due diligence, we should just double check on if they have any problem with that name, that title. With the jingle in it, I'm
well,
just,
there's hundreds of
I've done
races
some,
out there.
yeah.
With the
And
jingles.
there's actually even other races out there that are called Jingle Bell,
Yeah.
not without the run.
without theirs.
Without the run.
But it's mostly just because we've had the jingle bell here before,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
that's all I want to do is clear that one. Yes.
well, I have an alternate name just in case.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so you already
What
have.
is that?
All right.
I like the Holly Jolly jingle.
Holiday Happiness.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Holly Jolly.
All right. Well, we will check on that. We'll get back to you really soon.
Okay.
And, the application is making its way through.
We could call it Chime Time.
No, don't do that. I'll have a problem with that one. We have a hard enough time with our chimes anyway. We might have to get, we have no chimes, right? They're fake. I don't think, unless you have anything else with that one.
I wanted to ask about the sleigh, Santa's sleigh.
Yeah.
Can we use it as a food drive item for people to bring non-perishable
something-
food?
We already do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is in there?
We've always accepted food. And I
But
don't,
you're talking about using it at the
Kind
sleigh?
of like a fill the bus,
Using it at the sleigh?
kind of like a fill the bus, have a fill the sleigh.
Talking about.
our sleigh is loaned to us by Larry Stokes.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh,
And he brings it down specifically for Santa, for the
For the
photos.
Santa
The other thing I
photos.
wanted to ask about too is the hayride thing that they have. Is that something you guys do?
No, I mean, it was something as part of the festival, but they won't be able to do that any longer.
Why is that?
Quite a few reasons.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
so that wasn't going to be part of it anyway.
no,
Okay.
not this year.
'Cause-
It's another big change.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. 'Cause
Yeah, we are too, actually. It's not our happy news.
Okay.
But they had some restructuring going on in their organization, and as we move everything closer, it's harder and harder for the tractors. There's no room for them anymore. And
Because I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to know what that was because.
right,
I
but
thought
we're
it was-
trying to look for something else that's similar.
Like a trolley.
Yes.
Like what?
A trolley or some other kind of ride. I was hoping that maybe.
it's not tractor availability, is it?
Well, it's the route. We have a
Oh.
different.
Oh.
There are some safety issues that we handled differently in the past, and now with some different management, et cetera.
Okay.
We just don't have the same freedom to use the routes we used in the past, and so a lot of changes for us, a lot. But we think we can maybe find something else, and I was hoping maybe we could even try horses.
I would throw this out just for something to think about, the possibility of getting Peninsula Feed involved and have him bring his nice riding lawnmowers or whatever that's got the scoop on it and fill John Deere with food at the check-in at registration.
Oh, instead of the fill the slate.
Because you could decorate those up and
We
that would
certainly, we could
involve
find something
Yeah,
to
we have
fill.
some contacts.
him
We
in
just, we
the,
wanted to really emphasize that the
Yeah.
charity partner was no longer the Arthritis Foundation, it
Yeah.
was the food bank. Well, we want to thank the Arthritis Foundation for all the years here. We don't want there to be any confusion.
So, yes, having you here at these meetings is great, because there's a lot, we'll be thinking of a lot of things and asking and trying to figure out, and you know what, it's just not that far away. It's amazing how quickly this event comes up.
Right, what is that, 10 meetings?
Not even, maybe. Yeah, so,
It's February.
right, it goes quickly, and it's at the beginning again, so, of December. So, good, we'll just keep you plugged in, and we'll find out how everything goes until we get that final stamp of approval. So I think we're switching gears now to the tree decorating contest, unless you have any other questions? No? Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I don't need a weird noise.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yes, thank you.
So we did sell every single spot last year, and we could have sold even a few more.
good.
And I think, you're asking, why don't you go ahead? You wanted to find out when we should get started again on that?
Yep, so I have here's the application that we used last year. And so I was trying to get something started for the flyer and the application, so I didn't know if we wanted to figure out dates.
We probably should. I think we should just get moving ahead.
Sign me up.
If it was
Tree
successful
42
and it
on the
worked,
corner.
don't change a thing.
I'll
Just
bring
go
my
with it,
50.
Change the date.
Start date for paid reservations, we had September 9th. I think if we're equipped at the city, why not just get started at any time?
Yeah,
I did mine really early,
Yeah.
didn't I?
And you know what
I
we did
believe
is,
so, yeah.
look at that out there. Is that it's a helicopter going through. Okay, it had a very funny shape to it.
You thought it was a big bird, didn't you?
No, you never know what's flying out there, right? Yeah, well, like I'm saying, I think if what we had it is that whoever had the spots before had the first dibs on
Yeah.
reserving the same place again. And what we could do is have that being done now
Okay.
until maybe a date when we say, that's why we did this last year like that, so we would give everybody the opportunity. And now that we kind of have people knowing to do that,
Families will take our same spot.
I think a lot of people would like their
Yeah.
same spots unless they have problems or whatever. So how soon should we, a couple of months for that opportunity to try to get the word out? And
Yeah,
then-
I'd say a couple
So
months.
March and April, so May 1st, should we put down for paid reservations? What do you think, Janine? Because you know the logistics better
I'm
here.
just trying to think of, I just don't know if we do it now, if it's too early for some people to start thinking about it.
I don't
They're
think
already
it's, I don't
thinking
think
about
it's
it.
too early for
I'd
that.
say
It's,
maybe June.
it's when your city can handle it.
We can take payments because we did the reservation, or the resolution.
So we're set anytime.
Yeah.
Seroptimus would reserve, but they won't pay till July because that's when our fiscal year starts for Seroptimus.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and I think if we're gonna do it that early, we should call everybody and say, and tell them, because nobody's gonna be expecting to have to get their reservation in by May 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to
Well,
make sure.
Children's Hospital asked me last week when they want 2 trees this year.
Oh, see, this is
So,
what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
so we have to make sure that we give, if we're gonna do that.
Well, we can do the announcement, we'll do the press release, and we have the list of everyone who participated.
Yeah.
So we can do multiple notices, but
Okay.
that's a good
Yeah,
point,
definitely.
Kathleen.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to leave anybody
Right, I can
out.
just see
So,
shop owners.
little group
last
here,
year.
I'm counting on, I need the input from you guys, because we have people are asking, and we didn't have enough last year.
Yeah,
So how should we do this? You guys, we can have you guys start reserving anytime.
If you can reserve your tree now, send that notice
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Reserve your tree.
Participants, and send it to all of the participants from last year.
And I have a distribution email list of all the people from last
Perfect.
year, so I
Yeah.
can
And say,
get it straight
you
out.
have,
Yeah.
And that way you'll know
the
early.
next, okay, so say a month or 2 months for people to just say, they don't have to pay,
Just reserve.
they just
Yeah,
reserve
just
the
reserve
whole
it.
date. You can hold
Oh, there
yours,
you go.
you can hold your planter.
when do
For,
they need to pay by?
well, that's what we're gonna decide then next.
Now, last year, didn't we pay as we reserved or no?
No,
No.
we
Okay.
didn't accept payments last year
Oh,
until the
that's
9th of
right.
September.
No,
had
you
to-
got mine way ahead of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because it was supposed to be for pay, but I mean, it's probably when they did the resolution last year that
That's what we
they're
were
actually
waiting on,
accepting the payment.
to be able to accept the monies.
You know, another thing that's gonna happen, I think, is Pop says, we're going to have our flowers, our pots,
Adopt the.
adopt,
the
and I
planter.
think everyone who adopts a pot,
Is gonna want a tree.
they're gonna want a tree. We're not planning, we're letting people adopt.
Right, I heard that, except that we're going to be sending this to the list of people who
Yeah.
participated. So they will be, if they didn't participate before,
They better get in there.
no, they won't have first dibs.
They won't have first dibs.
You see what I'm
Only
saying?
those who were in.
Yes.
Oh, I see what
See
You
what
get
you're
your
saying?
reservation in as soon as you know that it's happening, and you put your reservation in, pay later.
Well,
Right.
that'll be good.
But that's
to
fair.
send out.
because-
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's why we're discussing, all be on
Yeah,
the same page.
okay.
Okay, so then we will get it out that there's an early reserve.
I'll start drafting that up this
Um,
week.
And put a deadline in there for the reserve, so that you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then are we gonna open it up to the public after that?
Mhm.
Yes,
Perfect.
and that would include the people who've adopted the pots for the
Yeah.
plants.
yeah, sure.
So let's decide that date. Should we give 2 months for people to hold it?
2 months is more than ample.
Or is it 1?
Yeah.
Should we just do 1 month and then go and open it up and then it's just payment?
Well, when are you gonna start that? Probably decides,
Soon.
like,
Yeah.
anytime.
I'll start drafting up the notice so we can get the notice out. to
Why not get it
people
out
this week or
in the
next
month
week.
of March
Okay.
and holding?
And state in the notice, due to the popularity
Yeah.
of,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
they know.
Understood.
Then
Don't
how about
delay. If you want it, you do it and get it in.
That-
payments received may be received by starting June 1st?
Okay.
Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that interfere with anything in Popstar that you guys know of or any of your events?
No, May
just gotta
1
get
would
my
have been a
event
little
request
bit,
and I'm
that's
so
ladies'
far
night out and
Okay.
May Day.
So anytime up until June, you may reserve the spot that you had before.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then starting June 1st, we accept payments that truly hold them.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's open to the public also starting June 1st?
Yeah, and actually it's still open to the public because a lot of these people are public who had that.
I'm sorry, I mean the people who haven't
Yes.
reserved from.
Yes.
So if, because you were talking about the Children's Hospital wanting 2, if they call and say they want to reserve, do they only get their 1 spot from last
Good
year?
point.
And if they want another one, they have to wait until June?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
right.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So is it the
Yeah.
same location that they had last
Yeah.
year? It's just basically a reserve or same spot?
Yeah.
Perfect,
Yeah.
okay. That's easy enough.
Plan.
It is good.
Yeah.
And then, yes, only the same spot.
Yeah.
Because otherwise then that takes some fairness away.
Sure.
It gets complicated, doesn't
Well,
it?
it does.
It just does, but
Yeah.
we're trying to be really fair.
And I saved both of my signs from the year before and last year. Do you want them back?
Well, the
So
only
you don't have
trouble
to
is.
Yeah, I
it
have a
has
spot
a-
for them.
Adams?
Sure.
Oh,
Or, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've got a spot where I'm keeping them.
okay.
oh, so they have the date on them,
No,
No.
signs don't. They just have your name.
on the trees?
Oh, they
They
do,
have the
because it
date?
says,
Oh, yeah, it
the
does.
contest is on
Because
December
I,
7th or
Oh,
whatever.
Because
So
I
we'll have to do
said-
it over anyway.
That's
I
right.
saved
Oh, I didn't
mine
pay
and
attention
then
to
I
that.
forgot about that.
Yeah, but you know what?
I
We got
just saw Val's name
Yeah,
on it, so I
no,
just
yeah,
saved both
good.
signs.
Yep,
I made them and I totally forgot.
yeah, I read them yesterday, actually, or I would have forgotten.
Right, okay, so that's what we'll do on that too. Who knows, we may have some little other information to put on there anyway by then. Yeah, because we actually had the judging, let me go to that date. That was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is when we had the judging. Did you guys do the People's Choice and who won?
Oh, yeah. Didn't the doc win?
The doc did win.
The
Yes.
doc won
Mm-hmm.
with the People's Choice on it?
And they're not the ones that got the basket, though. We had a raffle basket.
Yeah, I don't know who won the raffle
Yeah,
basket.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I never, didn't hear that. Okay, so Thanksgiving this year is the 26th, and this is where we'll have to talk to Public Works too.
Okay.
We had the judging the Wednesday before, so it's likely, although it was tricky for the judges, because they all had to dash someplace to do their dinners.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh. I'll check with the 25th.
Okay.
Because we had to, it was tricky getting all the trees and everything.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So we couldn't
So
do,
many
and then
of
what we do is we have, the festival is December 5th. This year. So I will check with,
Well, it was later, wasn't it, than?
It was the 7th.
7th.
this year's leap year, which is why we have this
Yeah.
extra day. Okay, so December 5th, then we'll check about judging on the 25th, or at least sometime that week, the 23rd, 24th, 25th. But I think Bill got the trees in last time, what we say, right here. He did them the 4th through the 8th, so that means this year he'll be doing them probably that same week. Which looks like, and I will have to double check. Oh, it's just right on the edge here. He may be doing it the week of the 7th through the 11th is my guess. Oh, nope, I'm on the wrong
'cause-
month.
yeah.
He probably will be placing them the week of the 9th through the 13th. Because of Thanksgiving falling so late, I think that would be
Thanksgiving
too
is
early.
really late.
Yeah, isn't it?
Wow.
So we're probably going tree placement 9 through 13. So decorating would open up the 16th. Ooh, that doesn't leave a lot of time, you guys. If it's placed on the 9th,
When do you have Thanksgiving down? Because
it's
I
the
had,
26th.
because I originally had our Santa breakfast on the 28th, and someone said no, and they looked at it on the board meeting, and Thanksgiving was the week before.
Nope. November 26th.
I'll have to look at the event list I got then, because I had it changed.
Okay,
On
well,
my event list.
you guys look on your phones, let's just make sure that mine's.
You know, you're looking at 2019 so many times, it's just like,
Yeah,
our festival by the bay is August 9th, and I have it as August 11th in my brain because it was August 11th last year.
yeah, but I think we're right.
Yeah, it's the 26th.
It's
26.
26th,
Yeah.
okay, so then our Santa breakfast is the 28th.
So if we're doing the tree placement the week of the 9th through the 13th, the problem we have then is it's a week to decorate, a full week. And we needed those 2 weeks, didn't we?
It was
Yeah.
nice to have
We
this.
So
should
you're
place-
looking at
Because we
decorating
had 4
the week
trees that
before
weren't even
Thanksgiving,
decorated.
yeah.
I
We should
know,
place the
that
trees
was
the week
good.
of the 2nd through the 6th.
Yeah, I think we have to go back to that.
Yeah.
I think we have to do placements
Yeah.
the week of the 2nd. Okay.
Yeah, because we started, what, the 9th or 10th last year, the 12th, something like that.
We started, well, anytime after the 8th, so it's the 9th through
Yeah.
the 26th.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so tree placements, the 2nd through the 6th. And then we're gonna do the actual decorating is going to be basically this, we call it the 6th, no, we'll call it the 7th. The 7th through the 24th for now. Well, with judging maybe on the 25th.
Friday.
No,
Yeah.
it's on a Wednesday because it's the time
It's the day
before
before
the Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
After the Thanksgiving, that weekend is so tied up with this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Too tied up.
that sounds pretty good, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Then June 1st, accepting payments. Until then, we're taking holds on whatever anybody had last time. Yep, and verbal commitments are fine.
Yep.
Good. All right, flyer and application. So, yeah, we'll just update that.
Definitely,
Janine,
yep.
this
And I
week?
think, so I have the flyer, I don't think I printed that one out, it was just the one page, save the date information.
This one.
Yes,
It'll
but
be
the application, I only have this in PDF, because I think you did this and sent it to me.
Oh, I'll double check, because
Okay.
I did, we maybe turned it into a PDF to try to keep the background.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll work on that and I'll get that to you.
Sounds good.
Get that to you in a Word.
Are we
Or-
gonna, sorry.
No, I think I might have had to have sent it to you in Word, because I didn't have PDF last time.
Okay, I'll double check.
Okay, anyway.
For the tree decorating categories, are we gonna keep the same?
Oh, yeah, you guys, what about that? Committee, ideas?
We had best vintage tree, most creative tree, and best business representation tree.
Okay, when you say vintage, what years are we looking at?
You know what, everybody interpreted however they wanted
Because
to.
that makes a difference on what is vintage.
Well, we could change the wording. We meant old-fashioned, I think. But, you know, there were a lot of people who chose the vintage category, and then the judges actually were judging each tree in all of the categories. It was interesting to watch that. I know the process was laborious.
Even
It
though
took
they
them
signed up
hours.
for here, you look better over here.
Oh, it took hours. And they
Maybe
had,
we can help them.
they had all these different things. You know what? I thought, this is great because it's really fair because they all did it by themselves, they convened and da-da-da-da, and then they were deciding which fit into the categories. But if you want categories to be different, this is the time.
I think vintage is nice because it gives a big, broad range. Like there were
I kinda
the
like vintage, 'cause
toys,
our town is.
and then there were
And the best business representation, that ice cream place, that tree too, oh, the work they put into that thing, that was amazing.
So when you say best business representation, you're ruling out individuals, you're ruling out nonprofits because you're a business, correct?
Well, I hear what you're saying.
How many businesses did you have versus individuals
Mostly
versus
businesses.
nonprofits?
It was mostly business. I mean, we had a few individuals, not many, and a few nonprofits, but it was mostly businesses. Or at least that's when they did the application. That's
Okay,
when they
and I
did
think
it.
it's fair that businesses compete with businesses. If you had that as a majority, then I would definitely leave that category.
But the judges had a hard time, right? I mean,
No.
they put everything in.
No, they actually, they were really looking at what tree, how did it represent the business well? So you know the one, the McClendons, with all the stuff
Yeah,
on it?
I see.
And they were saying, whoa, that is a hardware store tree. And they were looking at the ice cream one and saying, you can't miss that that's an ice cream business. But then they had, within that, creativity, and they had score sheets. It was all left to them, and they really did their job. So it was really cool how they did it.
Who did you have?
Huh?
Who was judging?
The team was Alexis McKinnon. She had Barbara Bricker, Michelle Perdue, Delaney helped. There was one other person who was sick. Cammie, we've met her at Rotary. She's works in the prosecutor's office. Cammie, I can't think of her last name. Should know that. She lives on the kids' up street.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so, and they created the ballot and everything. So they put a lot into it. Yeah, it was very cool. We wanted a nice cross section.
See, like Children's Hospital, they took actual pictures of the children. I thought
That was really
so
cool.
neat.
Oh, they had a hard time. You guys,
Yeah,
some of
can't-
these was by a hair. They were back and forth.
Mine they would have just thrown under the table. I mean, I just put some. Actually, mine would work out with the candy cane. I did a candy cane.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do really with my business.
You know what?
I mean, I don't know
It's
what
ju-
my business.
They had a hard time because all the trees, were so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
There was
it
something
hard.
about
They
every
were
tree
great.
that had something cool to it.
A
The
unique
giving
feature to
tree
it.
down by the football team.
Yeah.
To think that the school came
Yeah,
here and
they
did
really came
trees.
through.
How fun was that?
Yeah.
I wish we had more.
Yeah.
You know
that's
that
true.
this was really nice, and I
I
liked
had
living in
people.
Lovely.
I had a young girl in last week, just a teenager, and she said, "When are they going to put the trees up?" I mean, of course she's looking at our pots empty.
Yeah.
But she said,
Yeah.
"I love that. That was the best. My family comes every year." I just thought I was very proud.
Well, it's something for people that are coming to town as
Right,
a draw to
right.
get them to
Do.
town to
Yeah,
walk around
true.
and
They love
see
to walk
everything.
around and see all the different
Then they'll look in
And
the
they
store
like,
windows.
Yeah.
I think they like voting for
Yeah, I
them.
think so too.
You know, we had a lot of votes.
So, well, that's very cool. Yeah, I suppose we could actually have a public thing, but you guys do that for PUBSA. You
It's
like
pretty
it?
neat.
Yeah.
We like
We
it.
did a lot of
We-
people
yeah.
voting. Yeah.
We'll just keep doing the judging, and you can get the people's choice. I think that's a good split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. All right, and what we'll try to do is, it would be nice if we did this in other areas of town, but for now, that's about as much as we can handle.
Do you think we might be able to get like a ribbon for the winner?
Yes, you talked about that last
I
year.
know, because I kept having people come in
I'm wondering who had
who
won
would
what.
won, who would won.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
That's
nice?
an excellent
That
idea.
would be so
Yeah.
good.
We'll definitely create ribbons.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
And maybe just get a couple for each. Someone's gonna steal one, I have a feeling.
Yeah, things do get
Believe it.
taken.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
anyone ever reported anything being
Oh,
stolen?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Really?
A
Yeah.
whole tree, the candy,
An entire tree.
the entire tree.
A whole,
Whose
They
tree?
came down to the
They came
candy
and they
store.
took the entire thing, lights, everything.
Yeah, they came
Pulled
in
it out of
at
the pot
night.
and took it.
when
Oh,
was that?
The
my.
candy shop. That was after Chimes and Lights.
And
The
they
tree
took
I paid for. Maybe
Oh
I
my
had
gosh.
someone hates me
Oh.
downtown.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but
I
that
did not
other
know
than
that.
I had a lot of ornaments
I
that I
know.
thought they were gonna take and they didn't.
Yeah, they did have
And
a
like the high school baseball team put a hat, or rowing team.
football team.
Yeah, put a hat on top of the trees. The
Oh,
tree
you know
fell.
that, right, you were
That
right.
was taken immediately.
Yes,
And
it
then,
was.
We wire some stuff on, but they
Yeah.
can unwire it just as easy.
You know what we noticed, it got really cold right about the time, when the night we were judging even, it was freezing. And the lady that we ran into down there, because I kind of stayed behind and watched, a lady that we met on the street, okay,
Okay.
was
A street
wearing
lady.
something from trees.
Oh.
And she pointed it out, and she was saying, she commented on the football team's tree where you could take things.
yeah.
I think she may have had more than that, but she was, somebody who needed something to wear.
Yeah.
And so, it was kind of heartwarming to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And she was telling about, they even have socks on that tree and pointing. And she was really proud to be wearing the ornaments and such. But actually, I didn't see ornaments. I'm just saying the goods that. So that was a very cool idea because mostly what we had stolen were things like hats.
Yeah.
They use hats for toppers, and we might want to actually put in our literature this year to think about that's unless they want them given away, they may not. That those are the items that are most likely to be taken.
Yeah.
Because someone was really upset because they spent quite a lot of money on the hat, custom made, and it disappeared. Okay.
We
But-
had one lady that knitted over 130 hats for our knitting tree this year. Every child that we adopted got a hat.
Oh my word!
It was
Wow.
phenomenal.
What do her hands look like? She must be busy all
Well,
the time.
and then we had a Rotary Club from Pierce County that made quilts.
Oh.
These were actual quilts. And another group made fleece blankets. So every child got a blanket, be it a fleece one or be it a quilt. It was phenomenal this year.
Goodness. What you see is how generous people are.
Yeah.
Boy, it really comes out. This
Yeah.
little town gives so much, and the county is amazing. It really,
Well,
it's
I
phenomenal.
think with Helpline on this run,
I
we're
think
going to
it'll be a
see a
draw for the
lot
I
of
think
people
so too.
give.
Yeah.
I mean, if we
Well,
give
people
them.
will like to see the money staying in
Oh,
the
yeah.
community.
Yeah.
And I know that they were having a hard time having enough turkey dinners and things, remember?
Yeah.
They came to our Rotary Club, and
I know.
people were really trying to
Yeah.
pony up
So
because
that's good.
yeah. So, okay, that's good. Days flyer application, good. We're on to the Kitsap Bank's Community Connection sponsorship.
So we got $1,000 this year from Kitsap Bank. And part of the requirements are, I think it was submitting the stories, a couple different stories from volunteers and people who attend the event. I have the form, I can bring it for the
Yes,
next meeting.
we haven't been that great about getting these collected. But maybe we can have the story told about the giving tree.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. And, a few things like that. We probably won't tell the story about the candy shop tree. No. Disappearing. But it was very sweet to somebody. But, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
We can come up with those.
Sounds good. Sounds
Maybe we
good.
could get Debbie Bakehomer to write a story about the stolen Christmas tree.
She probably would do that very readily. Yes, that's a good idea.
Put it in your next novel.
Someone needed that tree
Yeah.
in their home.
Well, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
We do have
needed it.
we have another business too that's interested in sponsoring the event. Now, Kitsap Bank has been a presenting sponsor for a lot of years, and I personally don't even quite know. I mean, I've sought sponsors in the past by selling advertising, but I've never had this happen before where there's another business that wants to also be a sponsor. So the committee here kind of needs to, would they
Same
need
dollar
to
value?
match what the bank has done and then be called co-sponsors?
What would
do you
the
think of
bank
that
think
idea?
about that?
Huh? I don't know.
I think I would ask them.
Can we just list, we don't say Kitsap Bank is the presenting
Yeah,
sponsor.
we do. On our,
do?
Mhm. Yeah, we actually do. That's part of the flyer. It
We
has
wouldn't
that.
want to hurt their feelings.
No, and they've been a steady Eddie
Yeah.
from the day one. But we could have another sponsor
Yeah, mhm.
of sorts.
Definitely.
And Kitsap Bank remains the presenting sponsor.
Could they help the run somehow?
I'm sure they could, but they wanted to sponsor the event. I'm sure
Oh,
they want
the
some
whole event.
recognition.
If you listed them perhaps as the presenting sponsor and then so-and-so as community sponsor, because we list our secondaries as community
Do you as a
sponsors.
community-
Is it more
That's a good
money
idea.
than the
I
bank?
haven't heard
Yeah.
an amount yet. I want
$3,000.
before I
5,000.
I wanted to make sure that
'Cause it's
we as a
like a wave.
committee had
Yeah.
talked about it before I.
Yeah.
I think that's a graceful way to deal
They're our
with it.
title
Yeah.
sponsor. Wave is our
Yeah.
title
That is a
sponsor.
good-
But
sure.
anyone else who costs up
It's a
$1,000,
community
they're
sponsor.
a great community sponsor.
Okay,
Good
you know what?
idea.
I think
Yeah,
That'll work.
I like that.
so. I'll approach them and say that position.
Unless it is 5,000. No, I'm not kidding.
We
I
have to
mean,
switch
if
it.
it were 5,000,
Well, yeah.
I would say that might be a major
That might be a
concern.
Well,
change.
we'll find out. We'll get some more information, find out, and we'll not want to. I mean,
Yeah.
Kiss that Bank is all these years.
That's
Yeah.
true.
This is our 22nd annual.
But then they could
Wow.
give
Time goes
6,000.
too
Stop 'em.
Jeez.
You betcha, huh? Okay, well, that helps with that one. And then special event application.
Yeah, so let's see, I talked to Brandy about this, so we were thinking of trying to get this in a little bit earlier
Yes.
this year. And it's really the information on routes, street closures, because as part of the event process, we have a map that's supposed to go with it. So we just kind of wanted to figure out when we can get this completed and when we'll think we'll have the routes so we can get it submitted over to the police department and public works. So that's really what.
So the run won't change.
Is that a map of the back parking area? Because I'm looking for a map. I need a map that's got all of this area right here for the parade, because we're going to put a car show in here on Sunday.
So just go to Google Maps and type in the library address. And then
The what?
The library. Just put in 87 Sydney. And
then you
87 Sydney?
Yeah, and then you can just move it around and go to images, and then you can just get a map like that. But it's
On
yeah.
what site?
Google Maps.
Google Maps?
Yeah.
I think,
Okay.
okay, so this is what will keep us from being able to do this right now is let me contact the tractor organization one more time. I think that their decision is quite final, but just if things have changed. If we're not doing the tractors, I'd like to get something else because we are minus now.
So that was a tractor organization decision, or was that a city decision?
No, it was tractors.
And
They
They
had,
just used a flatbed, right? And put hay on it.
right, but the problem was they could not navigate well, and
I
you know what?
see.
It was this. I knew that this was going to be a problem, and it was when they came through the parking lot, which wasn't a good idea because we worked so hard to get all the people to the parking lot for Santa and lining them up. It was impossible when they were coming back through. They made like a U-turn kind of by the library to go
Because
back
people
through.
walking back and
Yes,
forth.
there were so many
Okay.
people.
Oh, okay.
Little children walking
Okay.
right in front of the tractor. It's
Okay.
so dark. They
Yeah.
were so afraid they're going to run somebody
yeah.
over.
Yeah.
And then, no regard for once, even when the tractor started going by, kids were walking right into the area where the trailer was, but the people were on it. So they were really freaking out about
geez.
safety.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that we moved everything closer to City Hall,
Right.
there wasn't that distance, and it
That's
was so
right.
easy for
More
people to get
kids.
from here, boom, you're right there at the marina,
Right.
really quick.
And another thing that was disappointing to a lot of people is they couldn't see all of the trees on the ride. So because of our cutting it short by Frederick, they couldn't even see
That's
all the
right.
pretty trees.
Going all the way down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gonna have to think on that because,
Yeah, because otherwise you'd have to close the street all the way down.
yeah.
I know.
Huh.
And we've done that in the past.
And it was
So
nice having it open for all the parking down at the gazebo.
well, we
area.
had to have it open.
Yeah.
That was part of the deal with the police saying, if we're using that as parking, you have to have that route come through
It
unsafe.
had to be open.
Yeah.
Right.
But what about closing that back parking lot? Like, how do you think that went?
Well, we tried to, and we probably need more feedback from the POPSA owners, people who needed to have their employees get in there. I heard that was just
Yeah,
a problem.
it was hard. And I did notice, like, I wasn't able to go outside after Santa went by. So I don't know when he was out on the sleigh, like how.
You're talking about the market.
Yeah,
Yes.
the area closed
Yeah.
behind there.
Right.
But I did know, I was back there quite a bit, like going to the pet parade and around 3:30 to 5.
Uh-huh.
And it was really dead back there. And
Is-
there was no cars. And they were, like, the feedback I had from some of the merchants along that was that it would kind of affected business, that people couldn't park back there. The thing is that when people were parked back there before, I'm not sure how they got out. Like,
They couldn't. They
I
couldn't
guess
get out.
I guess they would have just had to go out, around and out.
See, my
face
parking lot's
Sydney,
not a
right?
problem, really, because they still can get out.
On Sydney.
And
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Sydney.
yeah. So I guess, I don't know what the solution is there. I just heard, and it was pretty dead back there. It wasn't like, until Santa was back there, there's nothing really back there. You saw it too.
Yeah,
I
they,
saw it.
they
Like
had
setting- like setting
the
the sleigh up.
chili feed, when the chili feed
Yeah.
opened up, then
So
they had a good line.
what you're suggesting is maybe closing off the street later?
I don't think closing the street
If you
off.
close the street off, you're gonna be towing people out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the
I know.
problem.
And then, like, if you don't close the parking lot off early, there'll be cars in there.
That's
Right.
right.
And they're gonna wanna leave.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but it's not like there are vendors set up back there.
Well, and the night market worked really well, doing that very same configuration.
Well, but there were vendors back there.
Yeah, see,
So
there
there was
were
something back
vendors.
there. That was the
And
thing.
that was-
There was like nothing there
Yeah,
until
it's true.
Santa. And so it was like completely dead and empty until basically Chimes and Lights was over and Santa was back there.
Yeah.
Then there were a lot of people back there, but I think were there
Not that many.
because I couldn't be
Yeah,
back there
it
at that
was
point. But
really, even at the chili area, there was a line, but back in that back was still, I thought,
Our
wow,
line went
ways.
to the marina office,
Yeah.
not to your way.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So you guys, like the whole Santa traffic wasn't really in the parking lot, right?
No, it was on the sidewalk.
No,
Yeah,
it's on the
it's on the
sidewalk.
The only thing that was in the parking lot was my car where I unloaded everything, and then one of the other cars that came in with the royalty court that Helene had I think Helene had her car in there.
What did Samantha say about that? I mean, did she have some parking
I-
back in there?
I mean it was closed, so nobody
So
was
she
parking.
had nothing.
Yeah, and
But if-
I talked to Matt. He was not happy about it. Carter's.
If you take that area away from the fact that we're not gonna do the hayride through there,
Right.
then that could remain open.
I would think so, because if there's no hayride.
She's,
They've come up with some conclusions.
I contacted Sheila Klein while we were sitting here, and she said the Arthritis Foundation really won't say anything about having a race with the word jingle in it. There's
Okay.
tons of races that have the word jingle in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
She did caution, not to use any of the information that we know as timers because we did the jingle bell run earlier, and I told her that we're not going to do that. We're honorable people, so we already
Yeah.
decided that. So she doesn't have any problem with that.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
And she is still with the Arthritis Foundation.
Yeah,
so
oh,
she
yeah, I
did
know
say
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And she was very happy, actually. She said, I'm so happy that someone's going to take it forward. She was actually crying on the phone when I called her. She said, I actually know you laid such a great foundation. I appreciate it. But I used your application, and she said, Helpline so needs it. So
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
really very happy.
It's a good,
Yeah.
thank you.
thank you
That's
very
that.
much.
You're welcome.
Good, okay. So we're back to a logistical problem.
Yeah.
And see, I think it's really hard for the police to just let people go into that one area and not the other.
Yeah. I
Um,
think, if the hayrides aren't, because the hayrides were kind of turning around in there, right? And that was, so if there aren't hayrides, and if people were respecting, like lining up on the court sidewalk there for Santa, there's really no reason to close the parking lot.
Well,
On that one side.
Just that
the
one
parking
side.
lot on
Just the
marina
one side.
Just the
right?
one
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
If we can find a way to keep that open, with restricted, it shouldn't be necessarily open to the public.
You can't.
It's a hard one.
I know it, I know.
You're gonna find somebody
Yeah,
going
you
through it
can,
anyway.
you can block off half of it. We did that for
Oh, yeah,
night
but you,
market.
If you leave in back of Myrie's, for example, closed off, and they just come in whatever area they come in.
no, the only place they could come in would be the back of, by Myrie's,
By
and it would be
Myrie's.
two-way. You can't have it one way. It'd have to be two-way there.
You can't have it one way?
It is one way now.
It's one way now.
I know, it'd have to be two. You'd have to allow people
So
to
you
go in.
would be taking up the center parking for one way, the main area for the other way and only.
You have to still
Cars
have Frederick
parked
Street
against the
completely
buildings.
closed. You could not have access back there. And you'd have to have only entry from Sydney, because everything else is closed. You can't have people coming down.
You would be closing off this area here and allowing parking over here.
Yes.
So that the parking in the middle of the sidewalk area, in the middle where the sidewalk between
And
the
everything
two.
from basically the
I'm losing
sidewalk
my voice,
over,
I'm
I
getting
mean,
worse.
that would have to be
Oh, I'm not getting sick.
all closed.
So 2/3 of it is closed. Is that what you're saying? Like only one row would be open?
Yeah, you can't get entry
Yeah.
from Frederick Street.
So like the row behind my street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Just
row,
have
this row
private
right here
parking.
Right.
would be closed because the traffic's coming in and going that way. This traffic is coming that way.
But you can't have this.
But this isn't going to be open.
No, you can only have access from here.
So they would have to
here.
come in and turn around down here and go
Yes.
back out.
And it's only for people parking on the backs of these buildings.
Too bad we couldn't use that area somehow like rickshaw, ponies, I don't know, something
Yeah,
to draw
something.
people.
Because there's like nothing.
Because it
It's a
was
huge
dead
area.
right
It's a
in
huge
there,
area for
really.
just
But it was
tenants
nice, I
building.
mean, you could see the walkway and the Zanda and everything. But even the chili, there wasn't as many
Yeah.
people, I thought.
For the chili?
Yeah, I've seen them just packed.
Well-
They ran out.
Oh, good. That's,
Yeah,
that's what we wanted to hear,
Yeah,
that they ran out. But,
I did get a cup, but they did run out.
well, we were talking, remember, about maybe like you're saying trolley or carts or something taking people or going back and forth or going down the sidewalk.
Or maybe the pizza place in Carter's could do something.
Mhm.
They complained about it, well, why didn't they do something?
Well, because they weren't really aware that that was going to happen. Like they
Well,
were.
now we know.
Yeah.
So they could put up a clown tent or, I don't know, have a little,
Yeah.
of course, they're making money.
And it's cold out.
Yeah, and you know,
Well,
We're gonna have a sunny day this year.
yeah, if you're leaving the parking closed just for those businesses on that street, and he's saying that he's losing money,
He didn't lose too
he didn't
much
lose
money.
any money if people are
'Cause-
walking around and going in and buying ice cream, because that's,
Right. I
The
think
whole
they felt
event.
like
He never
they couldn't
loses
park.
money.
People couldn't park.
well, actually, the police were letting them in. The police were
They
letting
were?
people in to go to the backs of the businesses. We already, that's what they did last year. But they didn't have it open, the police had to
open for
allow
John Doe
people in.
public.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Huh.
I didn't see
I didn't see any
cars.
cars back there.
I don't
either.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to do that. And that was a
Yeah.
provision the police made because they needed to
Well,
park.
then maybe it's not a problem.
Well,
I didn't, but
it was
there weren't
tricky.
any cars parked back there.
Yeah, it was dead back
Yeah,
there, really. I kept thinking, gee, we need to do something here.
Well, we had the
Okay,
allowance
well,
for
how-
them to be able to do that. Because
When you-
Corrine also said she needed to have access to the back there.
When you do the night market, that whole area is completely closed.
Yeah, it
Right,
is.
right. But there's stuff back there. Is
Yeah.
the thing.
Right, there's vendors back there.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so when this is completely closed during that whole day,
Mhm.
it's just there's nothing back there. There's no car. It's just dead.
Right.
And it was the same way by the gazebo, but it was I think just more noticeable now because like all that parking over by the gazebo is available, and all of this parking is not. So it's kind of a swap.
It's a
right?
swap.
Yeah.
It is.
But
true.
for retail, it just looks as though there's less parking now, I guess, because and there's nothing going on. So with night market, it is a little different because there's a lot happening back there. There's a
Right.
lot of traffic, a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
It was just
Well, we didn't get the word out maybe soon enough about the gazebo parking being available to the public.
Oh, we did quite a bit of noticing
Was
on
there
that.
quite a bit of notice
did,
out of
yeah.
that?
We
Okay.
can,
And
that
I don't,
area
do a lot.
you know, I don't know
for-
that that actually was that much of a problem because it was pretty clear that there was parking back there and I think that was pretty heavily utilized.
I know a couple of our folks parked up at the chamber office and walked down.
Yeah, oh, and people do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Kitsap
they do.
Street and all
Yeah.
the streets were parked
Yeah,
up around.
yeah.
But I think we do probably need to look at, you know, golf carts or something something festive.
Mhm.
I don't know how we could do that exactly, but
Remember that train that was here that one year? That little train that was just.
the Pear people did that.
Golf carts are
Yeah.
pricey, but if we've got another sponsor coming in, maybe they could sponsor the golf
It would
carts.
just be
because
so fun
we-
to have them bopping around, wouldn't it?
We rent the
Yeah.
golf carts from Scott,
Yeah.
We
and
could decorate them a little
I
we
bit.
could
know.
decorate them really
I
cute
know,
and
very
move
fun.
people back and forth. The golf cart Christmas,
Does anybody have
Train.
a connection with the owner of the golf cart place?
we do.
You do?
I can give you his info.
Okay.
That'd be sort of
And I can
fun.
give you what we pay for parade day, because we have quite a few golf carts that we get for parade day. We get two 6-seaters and I think 6 4-seaters. And I'll give you that price. I don't remember it off the tip of my head what we have to pay.
It would probably be way cheaper in December.
And we need to.
Well,
That's
I don't
true.
think so. And if you've got another sponsor coming in, that money could go to pay for the golf carts. Something to think about.
And we need to talk to the pet people.
And if that's the case, they
Remember
could
how she
advertise
said
on the golf
she
cart.
was not happy. They
Provided
had
by.
so many,
Put their name on.
40 pets or something.
Oh, she's happy now.
Well, she just wanted a new route, she said to me.
She did?
Yeah, you guys
Okay.
talked to her.
So do
Because
we
I
need a
didn't-
new pet route? She wanted to have it out in the street or something?
It
I
was on
don't
the
know
street.
what was wrong. She
Oh,
said
yeah.
that they had so many pets. They didn't like going down one side or something. I just
let's talk to her.
over-listened.
Yeah, I talked to her.
Okay.
No, I
afterwards.
didn't mean she was unhappy. She just said to me, we need to figure out a new route.
So,
Okay.
are you guys still POPSA
Yeah,
people?
Uh-huh.
we are.
Can you find out at the next POPSA meeting? I'll start attending down a bit. My daughter's getting married this year, and I've got so much on my plate. But can we find out from the business owners on that block about the parking thing?
Yeah.
Can you please
Yeah.
say that we're really trying to find a solution,
Okay.
and we'll talk to
You
the
know
police.
Corrine is president.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
She'll tell you.
If we, that'll be
Yeah.
really nice to be thinking about that, including some
Sure.
feedback,
Sure.
and that
Yeah.
we're trying to really work on our
Sure.
routes,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
and that we need to present them to the police and try to find some practical solutions.
Sure.
That'd be great, and then we'll see if we can maybe do some golf carts or something that moves to get people down the street more, and maybe we can actually use the sidewalk. Can you
Well,
use the
maybe
sidewalk
they
for a
could
golf cart?
somehow go see the
Yeah,
trees at the
unless
other
there's pedestrians
end.
walking on it.
But maybe there's some way that then they could go down and see the trees if they were, all the way down somehow.
Well, if we don't have any parking on the
If
street,
there's no parking,
then they could go right where the parking would be,
yeah,
as long as it's deemed safe.
they could go
Oh,
right
yeah.
down the side of the park.
And
side
that
of
was what the
sidewalks.
police were having. to do.
Sure.
Yeah. So, okay, well, you know what, we've got a lot of homework to do. But we'll try to see if we can do golf carts. We'll try to see if we can maybe just have that one parking area allowed for the retail behind the stores, and how that would work with police letting them in. Because, you don't want that to just be the public exactly parking there for the event, because then it's not for retail.
Yeah.
So could the retail people have vouchers or something that could be handed out where we could actually have the police there looking to see?
We have passes. When the Saints come in, the police gave me 2 passes, so there's such a thing.
Oh, yeah, but then it's a problem if it's customers. and
They're
we have that.
escorted in by the
That's
Saints.
true.
Yeah, I don't know how you solve this one.
If you can have.
I will have water out of my parking lot by then. They drained it out today,
Oh, good.
so,
I saw that. Who drained it?
Monster,
He did? How did he drain that?
I cried. I just got so tired. I had 3 weeks of water.
Yeah. I
So
saw it was
I
gone today. I was
called-
like, how did that happen?
I know.
In
I
your
called-
parking lot,
Yeah.
in a hole.
Oh, I only had like 4 parking places out of 9
Oh,
Wow.
my.
for 3 weeks.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel like it's been longer than
Well,
that.
it has, but the
Yeah.
last 3 has been really bad. But
Yeah.
he came out. I called the one.
So what did he do?
I don't know, he sent someone out and I
You
think
can
they
pump it out.
sucked it out or pumped it out.
You pump it out.
One moment it was there and the next moment
It's
it was
gone.
all gone.
Yeah.
I said, thank
Kind of like
you.
they do for house fires, they
Yeah.
come in and
I
suck
hope
it up.
they wouldn't
pump
have
it out.
pushed it under the library some way.
No, but I'm just wondering, if they
We're gonna get you a hole in there, honey.
Yeah, thanks, Bobby. That's the library. We're having water, we have enough water problems in the library.
That thought came to me though.
Don't you remember that hole when Jerry Ruppert had it in her building?
Well,
I don't.
Like Amy's had a hole?
Okay.
oh, you're running
I
very late.
heard stories on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay, well, you can see,
Okay.
we can't get this application in until we've worked out a few things.
Yeah.
So you're gonna give me information for contact for the golf carts. I will contact the other sponsor, because I do like the idea of the new potential sponsor maybe taking care of that part of the event. And thanks for that.
It's like if you've been on the parade route, on every toilet up and down Port Orchard Boulevard, it's got a nice laminated sign, thank you Kids Have Credit Union for sponsoring the parade. So anyone
And,
going to the potty's gonna see it.
Well, we just have to really work closely with the police early to try to get this figured out. And please, POPSA, because we don't want bad blood down there. We really
Yeah.
are trying to work it out. We thought we had it worked out.
And Kathleen, I have the whole bag of lights in the Fathom storage that went around your canopy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Do you want me to just keep them in storage?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
March 16th is our next meeting date, it looks like here. Does that kind of work for everybody? We really are dependent on this great feedback. You guys, it's huge
Yeah.
to have it. So if you can put that
And
on
Larry
film.
Stokes will again donate his sleigh. In fact, he just said, I will personally deliver it
Oh.
and take him home that night.
That was a lovely sleigh.
He's going to be our new Santa's elf.
Yeah.
I'll dress him up.
So he said, and I said, well, fine, you have a guaranteed parking spot right here.
Very cool. Okay. And then we'll work with the pet people.
Yeah, so
Try to find out what
we're
brought us safe and what they want.
It wasn't Cheyenne.
And I know
Michelle.
Sir Optimus will do hospitality.
Yeah.
again.
You know, I
Okay.
don't
Oh,
know.
nice.
It's woodland.
Right, Woodside.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got Starbucks to donate the coffee and got somebody else to donate the cookies.
I think otherwise things went well. We had a problem with spotlights up here at City Hall. One thing that just got missed, too much going on. But we'll work on the spotlights because that was really hard. It was pretty dark.
Yeah.
But the choirs and everything again.
Were they good? I never get to see them.
I don't either. I'm
so
always
good.
working.
They're so good. It was just,
That's
yeah.
good. That's good. They're always
Yeah,
good.
we were setting up, I didn't get a
It has to, yeah.
It's really nice.
Everybody has it,
It's
yeah.
just
No,
really,
I think
really nice.
that's
The
great.
one thing I never get to see is a dance studio.
Oh,
I never.
Okay, speaking of closing off that section of parking there,
Yeah.
it was great when the band marched through there.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
everyone standing in line for Santa got to hear the band.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, now,
This is one
this is
problem
reminding me of
after.
problem.
where did the band go?
This is a problem.
What?
This was a problem last
What's
year. So when the band came through on Bay Street,
Yeah.
the Sydney was open, right?
Santa was
Oh,
in
did
front
they go
of
all the
them.
way down to Sydney this
Yeah,
time?
they go to Sydney. They've always gone down to Sydney.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
turns right at
March
my.
down to Sydney,
Oh,
and they
dear.
turn right in front of Old Central and the
Yeah.
library. They go down Sydney, and then they would go back to the gazebo. So they went all the way down Bay Street, and then the street was open on Sydney. So they had to wait for the police
I know.
to
To
close
escort
the
them
street.
in.
Oh, no.
So they literally had to play their song 4 times.
Oh,
But you know,
It was over, and the fourth time I was like, what is going on? And then finally they were able to march down Sydney.
I loved it because it kept the people all there. It was funny.
So we need to work that out. Like we've
Yeah.
got to know, like close Sydney.
I know, that was
Before-
funny. It was
It's
sort
just-
of funny
It
though.
was kind of funny, but I think
I
those
know.
kids were
It
like,
just
what is going on?
compounds the problem.
yeah, because
Yeah.
of Sydney being open, they come
Yeah.
to the totem pole area and turn
Yeah.
around and go back out.
Right.
Oh,
They've always
yeah.
done that, so that was
I know.
their
But
route.
in order to get on Sydney and out through the barricades, they had to
Move the
have
barricades.
that escort.
But I thought it was pretty good the way they did
Oh, they
it.
handled it beautifully.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
stood there and they're playing and playing. The
And then they
people were
stopped, and
coming
it's like-
and coming.
And then they start again the same song.
Oh my
So that was the
goodness.
same thing for Santa. When they brought Santa through, they had to have the escort through there. Because I went over and got Santa out
Because
of
Santa
the
was
sleigh.
following the band.
Yeah,
Walking
right,
across.
right. So,
You
And
know,
boy, at 7:30, he was done. He didn't wait. Luckily, there was nobody waiting to see him when he left. But we were just paranoid that people were going to be still standing in line by 9 o'clock because it was such a nice night
Oh, it
out
was
there.
nice.
Yeah, it was
But at
a nice
7:30,
night.
had there been kids there, I don't know that he would have stayed. Boom, he was
Santa
done.
was gone. He does that as a,
Yeah.
he volunteers his time, and
Yeah.
I just don't know how long he can stand, and that's a long time. He's standing in the truck.
Yeah, Larry brought a really nice bench for him to sit on,
Uh-huh.
but he did not sit on that.
He didn't.
did he stand the whole time?
No, he brought his own chair.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
he-
brought his own chair.
Okay.
And he told you he wasn't, that he wanted a bench. So I got him a bench. Then he brings his chair.
Holy
And I had
smokes.
decorated the bench with a
Yeah, it looks
beautiful
really
red.
nice,
Yeah, it was a nice wicker bench, everything.
Well, maybe we can.
So now next year, I'm expecting him to bring his own chair and not a bench. And his wife could have sat on it, but she didn't. She stood the whole time.
All right.
All these little things.
But the
Because-
lineup worked out great, the way it was decorated next to the big display that the port had. It was wonderful.
Couldn't the police have, well, they didn't know, I understand, but next year just close it for, not to take the ban.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
just
just
use the
close and
walkie-talkies and be like,
You know,
okay,
it's
thanks
ahead of time.
I know,
It's
it's
more
more
about-
But get ahead of time for that little
Yeah.
amount of
Yeah,
time.
it's only,
They could
they're
say-
done in,
Well, yeah, and they could say, okay, band's coming,
Right,
close it off.
right,
Yeah.
but they just didn't know.
they didn't know
Okay.
that part,
Yeah.
and so they got confused.
And then they just see this marching band coming and they're like, where are you going?
I heard that.
Where are they going?
I heard that actually.
I
Someone
know.
said,
Radio.
Where are they
That they
going?
could do that ahead of time.
Right into traffic.
it was
Oh
a
my
funny
God.
moment in a
It
way,
was-
because I'm not kidding. I heard a policeman say, "What is this coming?"
And then their little bands. Oh, did they look cute, you guys?
Oh.
They even had their instruments
Oh, they
decorated.
were perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, they ad libbed. I thought they were
Oh, they
pretty
did a good
good.
job, yeah.
Yeah.
They really grew a crowd.
Yeah.
Because they
Oh
were
my gosh, it was
standing there.
tons.
I know, we really want to make it work for the band. We
Oh.
are just going to have to work very hard on this route thing because,
Yeah,
We can do it.
yeah. We
yes, we have to.
And we'll have to spell it out to the
Well, we
police,
need,
yeah, a little
we
better.
really need to talk with the retailers and just explain what's going on and our
Get their
dilemma.
pick, yeah.
Right, and then be
Get
like,
the
okay, now.
Let's work on
you
a
know,
solution.
the
We
band
need
is
to get
So
it
that
done.
area is technically closed off at what time? It's not closed off during the day, it's closed off like at
It was
5?
closed off all, are you
Yeah.
talking about the back parking lot?
Yeah.
It was
That's all
closed off
day.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the street closures actually are Bay Street from City Hall
Well,
to
if they're not
City,
closing Bay Street,
11
no,
to
you are
8.
closing Bay Street off, this whole section right here.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's Bay Street to Sydney,
Yeah.
11 to 8, and Sydney out to Annapolis was 12 to 3:30.
So on a Saturday afternoon.
But
I
now
can
we're
see
not
where
doing
Carter
that.
would complain.
No.
And I don't know though, I can't see that we don't have a trail that goes all the way to Annapolis.
No, they're gonna
So they're
have
gonna
to-
have to have some kind of closure,
Yeah.
at least one lane.
Right.
So, we've got a lot of stuff to work out. So
Yeah, when he
Huh?
said that, I wondered if he had realized that they were going
it
to have
doesn't
to
go all the way out.
If they
Yeah.
close the park, if they close one lane like they do for the run.
Yeah.
And we run the fog, because we run the fog line after we're off the pedestrian pathway. They would have to kind of do that same thing, close one lane.
They're gonna have to.
But how many
For
runners,
town.
run in the Seagull spot now?
We had 112 last year, and we've got it on run sign up. We're working with Peak Performance, so we're paying them big bucks to do our timing this year.
And I think even last year when it was like a small Jingle Bell Run, they had over 500.
Did they?
runners.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah, we haven't had that many. We'd like to grow the event that
And
big.
some years they've had like 800.
Oh, I know.
So the reason why Sheila never went with the pedestrian pathway was because there were just
It's too clogged.
way too many
Here they're
runners.
chip timed and that, you can't,
If they
real
do-
runners can't even get through.
Yeah, you want,
Coming back when everybody
They
was
run
walking,
into them.
It's not wide enough.
So the people that were here are the ones that.
yeah, their peak performance, and we're using them this year and paying them. Our fee to them is like $600 and some to do our chip timing.
Yeah.
And Scott Lucky, who's
I
our
just went-
run director, is working with them for the 5K on parade day up at the community park.
Yeah, they're really good with chip timing.
Yeah, they are.
But I think, like, if they just go on the pedestrian pathway, enter at the hotel, go behind Bruce Titus, and then pop out, that might work. I mean, it's a short amount of time that you're on
And
the
actually, they'll
pathway.
probably have to return a different route.
Yeah.
They'll have to have that one way because they will be running into
Yeah.
people. Because there are some
Yeah.
people who are so fast that they'll get to Annapolis
Yeah.
and they need to come back on
Right.
the outside and
Right.
probably should just be brought along the street or the sidewalk
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
because they're going to hit them.
Yeah.
Well, because they're really wanting to concentrate on their time. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Right.
the 500s, you do need
And then
one
they
lane.
would come back right through town, Sydney.
Yeah, they would have to.
There's a lot of logistics to be worked out this year
Sounds like it.
compared to other years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
So-
too, they're new at doing this, you
Right.
know, and,
Well, we'll help with all of that. We
Yeah.
don't want anybody to run into a snag.
I'm wondering, because they've already submitted their special event application with the route, I'm wondering if,
Well, the police are gonna end up commenting.
yeah.
So they'll get to it before we will, which is probably an okay thing.
Yeah.
and I think it'll be good to have an attorney look at all of this,
Well, we're going to report plenty.
for sure.
Yeah, we will.
Even if we had 500 where we are, that still run the same route. And that's, as long as your chip time doesn't make any difference when you start it, you're still running the same route. But their purpose of being down here is where all the activity is.
Right,
If
right.
they change their route to start where we do, at the gazebo area,
No, yeah, they'll start from here.
yeah.
But we'll work out some of this. And
But
we
rather
had
than close the whole
talked
street,
about
close
before,
one
like running
side.
out towards the highway instead.
I know, and then the police really had a hard time with that
Yeah.
because there's no way to change the route of that traffic. And that's really dangerous,
Yeah.
going out that way.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. Or-
We don't have a perfect city like the big cities that run the big marathons.
That's true.
They just
We
shut
have a
down the
highway.
city.
They just
for
closed
their
down
routes.
6 city streets. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But this is a good leap on everything, and your input has been huge. So we'll just keep working on
Yeah,
it.
it'll
And
work out.
next month we'll see how far we've come with this all.
All
Good luck with your wedding.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
So what's